Morning everyone, I am Rick Vincent R.Jugao, and today I'm going to be talking about voting, or more importantly, the consequences of not voting. Now we've all voted once, maybe even multiple times in our lives, whether it is where we want to go for supper after church on Sunday, or who we want for president or vice president, or Mr. and Mrs. in special events. Voting is an important part of our lives, especially since we live in a democracy, which is often with Western characteristics, Western liberal characteristics. Now, all the same though, lots of us take voting for granted, and considering our politicians, the state of our country, and the state of the world we're in, many people say that democracy is the problem, that the system is the problem, that our vote doesn't really matter. And I'm here to say, no, it does. Sure, one vote doesn't matter, but a lot of votes can bring change, whether it is to change our leaders, our country, our policies, etc. Our vote does matter. And sure, voting might not change things, or hell, it might take a bit longer for those changes to happen. Maybe our vote didn't win. But ultimately, what happens if we don't vote? Then ultimately the system wins. It wins because we're not voting against it, we're not putting our hat in the ring, we're not basically challenging the system through democratic and orderly means. And here's the thing, some of those concerns are utterly justified because people like the Electoral College, etc., etc. But when we don't vote, the system will still win. Or worse, we allow demagogues like Ferdinand Marcos, or especially the senior one. We allow people like Hitler, we allow people like Stalin to win. And that's the thing. If we don't vote against it, and if we allow apathy to win, well, we're going to be the first ones to suffer. Because, well, we didn't vote for anything, but we're still going to feel it. And a lot. Because here's the thing, our democracy is not given. Our democracy was founded on principles. It is very fragile. It is not magically self-sufficient. It requires all of us to participate, especially in picking our leaders, our policies, what we're supposed to do. And that is why voting exists. And especially for us Filipinos, this is very important because we have suffered through corrupt politicians. We have suffered through dictatorship. And all the same, it should remind us that our democracy is pretty fragile. It basically has to remind us that we have a duty, we have a vote, we have a voice. We must use that voice, we must use that vote. And on election day, please do sign your ballot, whatever politics you may have, as long as it's not fascistic, to vote. You must vote during election day. Because it is your duty, it is your voice, it is the people's voice. Thank you.